warm up. Play through some stuff. Go ahead. Play through some stuff. Remember outside people, you can turn yourself so you can see if you'd like to. Remember outside people, you can turn your chairs and stands so you can see them. Yeah, go ahead, play through stuff. Hold on. Hold on. Go for the stage. Good evening, everyone. We're here. We're doing it. So, yay. So, welcome to tonight's first orchestra concert of the year. So, as you see in front, you can sit. So, in front of you is the Sycamore High School Concert Orchestra. We're playing 4 pieces for you tonight, and I'll just talk about each one briefly. Before. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting your children. And as you can see, this is awesome. We're over 6 feet apart. So we're safe and we're following all the guidelines. So I know for those of you at home, if you're looking at the camera, the angles might be a little weird. You're like, are they really 6 feet apart? I have a tape measure, and I spent all day making sure that they were far enough to be safe. So our first piece, Andante Festivo, this was our annual warm-up piece. This is kind of a great thing because this is an actual professional orchestra piece by Jean Sibelius, and we use this as our warm-up, and we focus on tone and intonation and a lot of the subtleties of music. So because this year we weren't bombarded by performance after performance after performance, we really went for quality over quantity. So I think you are going to be blown away at the sound of the concert orchestra. So, Andante Festivo. another kudos to your children. The great thing is that was the first time that we've all practiced together. So at least half the orchestra has been either fully remote or partially remote or just in and out the entire time. So half of the people on stage, this is the first time that they've been on stage playing with the orchestra. So even, you know, I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. We're going to be able to stay together. But they're doing great, and there are 3 more pieces left, but I'm sure they'll be fine. So the next piece, just a little bit of spreading out. This is some of the good things that have come out of the pandemic, is that orchestra teachers around the country are just re-examining the type of music that we play and what we do. We've actually been examining that for about 5 to 10 years now, and just, you know, what are we doing, what are we teaching, and what's important to your children and our community. So used to be something that used to be very side repertoire that used to be on the side. We're trying to bring to the forefront and make sure that all your children get exposure to the different types of music. So our next piece that is usually reserved for a small select group of students, we are doing with both groups, and that's mariachi music, which is significant in string playing pedagogy and the repertoire. So Solito Lindo is a very common piece. It's something that I learned when I was taking Spanish 100 years ago and when I was in school. So it's kind of neat to teach it to your children. So our next piece, Solito Lindo. for our next piece, here's a real change in what I was talking about earlier, about rethinking about all the things that we do. And the next piece, because I know all of you as parents, like, you know, we're all the same age. I know you're all on your TikTok accounts. So this piece went viral this year, and it's The Wellerman, okay? It's an Irish, or no, it's not an Irish. It turns out it's a New Zealand sea chanty. So the Wellerman brothers owned a shipping company out of New Zealand. So the Wellerman, though, is a sea chanty, a fiddle piece, and it was made, you know, famous. It went famous on social media. And I was lucky that my dear friend from one of the suburban orchestras, he arranged it for string orchestra. And his thing has gone viral. So there's like literally thousands of orchestras around the country who are playing his arrangement of the Wellerman. So, but here's the most important thing. We've done sea chanties before. They've done sea chanties in middle school before. But here's the big thing that I finally found the courage. You know, we've all had to grow and we've all had to adjust and adapt, including myself. And I have grown as a teacher because for the first time in my career, we are charged as educators to teach them all kinds of things: melody, rhythm, harmony, music history, music theory. But the one thing that we fail to do in orchestra is we tend to fail in creativity. As you guys know, that's where the jazzers are great at it. Jazz bands, jazz choir, where they improvisation. So there's a section in the Wellerman. For the first time, I taught your children how to improvise. And I can assure you, universally, well, almost universally, they hate it. So it's very scary, right? Putting yourself up there, giving your own thoughts and being creative, not giving something that you get to play and latch onto. You have to make something yourself. And then you have to play it in front of other people. And for string players, it's absolutely terrifying. So you'll have to bear with us. We are going to do improvisation in performance for the first time, well, at least in my history, so at least in 25 years, the orchestra will be improvising in public for the first time. But there's a catch. To ease them into it, this is like a 10-year project, all right? They're going to all improvise at the same time. So we have a middle section that we're gonna repeat twice. And I believe the seniors and sophomores are gonna go first, and they're gonna improvise while the rest of the kids play the actual song, so they'll be hidden and protected, and then we're gonna repeat, and then the juniors and freshmen, they are going to improvise. So I have no idea how that section is gonna sound like, but just so you know that your children learn for the first time in this program, they learned how to be creative. And hopefully, remember that we did a lot of fiddle songs in the fall, is that we're gonna go back starting next week. We're gonna pull out some of those fiddle songs, and then we're gonna go back and learn how to improvise over those. So there's a lot of other things. It's a whole hour lecture, so I'll spare you, of other subtle things behind that to get to that point, to be able to improvise that your children learn. And they'll be happy to tell you at home. So, the Wellerman. And please forgive the piano player. Everyone It's hard to hear back there. Were they improvising? Did you hear something? So, all right, we'll just keep working on it. So that's our new tradition. We're going to try to improv and on as many concerts as possible in the future. So, all right. So before we do our final piece, just wanted to do a quick recognition. So Tyler Norton, will you stand up, please? So Tyler is our lone senior in concert orchestra. He will be graduating this year, and he'll be attending Kish, right? Kish, majoring in engineering. So congrats to him. We do have a little PowerPoint presentation that they gave to me like 2 hours ago, so I wasn't able to put it together for tonight, but I will be emailing a whole bunch of more, because you need more emails from me this week. But I will be emailing you some more stuff about this year and some of the things that went on, so you can sit down. So congrats to Tyler. Well, thank you guys for being a great audience. Thank you for being amazing, supportive parents, just helping your kids be successful. Even though it's a trying year, it's like, you know what, they're making it. And what I've learned from this year is that we're not giving these people on stage enough credit. So they have done wonderful things, and I have not really had to, quote unquote, as people were worried, lower my expectations. We're learning things that we've never learned before. So I want you to be, you as parents, people, friends and family, as taxpayers, as supporters of the arts, to know that your children are getting just as good as an education this year as they would have any other year, and even some things that they would never have gotten if this event didn't happen. So thank you guys for your support. Just so you know, in the future, I don't know, some of you may or may not notice that our solo and ensemble plaque, which is hard to see, getting first place. Congratulations to these people. The plaque is already on the wall, so the next time you're able to kind of wander the building, not tonight, but the next time, take a look if you go down the hallway, and hopefully that you walked in, you saw our second place trophy as a music department. So hint, hint, next year, that's the goal, as we get back to in-person. It takes a little more, you have to give up a little more to participate in solo and ensemble in person. But we hope that you as students and you as family members will support that and keep this trend going, because it's a great experience. So our last piece, Concerto, is one of the tougher pieces that we have learned this year. And there's all kinds of subtleties in there that I'll let your children share with you, but a lot of technical things that you might not notice as a listener. But kudos to them for learning this piece. So, Concerto. right, thank you so much. Your children will, well, I know some of you have cases back there, but if you can quickly get back to your family members, and then if you would all please exit to the south through these doors over here. So exit this way. So thank you, everyone.
Hi, parents. I am selling car decals, just in case. It's very exciting, but I'm up here if you want one.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. We're doing it. So in front of you is the Sycamore High School Chamber Orchestra. We've been working all year, half online, half in person, and it's a great evening. So of putting together, showing you what we've done. So the first piece, Andante Festivo, has been our traditional warm-up this quarter, and we worked on playing it with good tone, intonation, and kudos to these guys. Half of these kids some of them have been remote all year long, so this is the first time we're together. So we'll see what happens. So what could possibly go wrong? So. We hope that you got tonight's program. I emailed it to you guys. We're going green, paperless. Like I said in my email, a lot of schools over the years have been doing that, and I've always wanted to jump on the bandwagon, and everything else is getting blown up this year, so we might as well just keep on going and changing all kinds of trying new things. So I'm super excited at this as being a kind of a future process of a more environmental way of saving like hundreds of dollars and reams of papers that we spend every year making programs. So our next piece, I believe the 4 pieces, right? So is a Baroque era, so a completely different style, couple hundred years difference in era. And so there, hopefully, we will show you the different styles and techniques that they use to play in a Baroque style versus a more romantic style. our next piece, The Wellerman, which I know is parents my age, all on our TikTok accounts. We're all seeing this video go viral. So The Wellerman went whatever it's called. It went all crazy on social media. It's not an Irish sea chanty, but a New Zealand sea chanty. The Wellerman were two brothers that owned a shipping company. And so this piece was written. We have no idea who wrote it. But my good friend, who's a suburban orchestra director, he found it and arranged it for string orchestra. So he shared it on another orchestra teacher page, and now hundreds of high school orchestras are around the country are playing this version of this piece. So we thank my good friend for arranging this for us. Like we talked about, the pandemic has changed everything, and it's caused us to revisit all the things that we do, not just as students, but as teachers too. And some of the things that we have been discussing for over 10 years are really coming to the surface and say, here's a chance to completely change the model and look at all the things we've been doing right for 100 years and all the things that we may not have been doing well for the last 100 years as teachers. And so one of the big things that our Music National Conference of Music Educators charges us with things of teaching, like music history, music theory, not just playing our instruments, listening to music, being consumers of music. But the one thing that orchestras are notoriously bad about is creativity. We are just one big cover band of music that's like 200 years old or plus, and we've been guilty of that and have rarely evolved as an ensemble, And so just because all the rules are broken, this has been a great push by the music education, the orchestra teachers around the country to push some of these things and look at ourselves in the mirror. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? So I got on board, and what's the one thing I'm really bad at? Teaching improvisation. The jazzers have it down great, right? Improvising, being creative, and being able to just play things through, their ideas in a concert. So for the first time in at least 25 years of my career, the Sycamore Orchestra program is going to improvise in public. And what's exciting to see the looks of absolute horror on their faces when I said that, because orchestra people, string players, do not improvise. And so I thought, so of course, if I know that, it just drives them crazy. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do more of it. So we're starting a soft opening, if you will. We are going to be improvising in the middle of this piece of Wellerman, in the middle section. Seniors and sophomores are gonna go first, and then the juniors and freshmen are gonna go the second time on the repeat. Because I'm such a nice guy, as they all tell you all the time, we're gonna do it, in a careful way, because it's terrifying to put yourself out there. So we're all improvising at the same time, okay? So you're just gonna hopefully hear a cacophony of sound of your children being creative on their instruments. There's a whole bunch of other steps that we did that the night's too short to talk about, but they will be happy to tell you at home all the things that we did to get to that point. But it was a long, complicated process of practicing how to improvise and learning how to improvise correctly. But they learned so many new skills. It was really fun, and it's honestly one of the most fun I've had in my career as a teacher. So get used to it, because I'm gonna give your children the ability to be creative and to create their own things as on many concerts as we possibly can. So get used to it, kids. So, the Wellerman. I don't know if you heard anything. I heard a little improvising by one or two people. I think they got all scared at the end. But it's a really scary thing. I can't do it, so we're just going to keep practicing, and hopefully next fall we'll have some soloists. So, all right, keep working. Our next piece, diversifying our repertoire as well, which we've always done at the Tosco Cinco de Mayo. The orchestra has performed a lot there, but we want to bring it into the concert hall and make it an annual staple of our repertoire. So we're going to play La Bamba, not the Richie Valens version. We're going to do the real thing, okay? So I asked them about that. They had no idea. I don't know why they don't know music that I sang in high school, but La Bamba, the real mariachi version. Good. Our next piece, the Vivaldi, is a piece that we traditionally play for senior awards night. It's when the seniors get all their scholarship money and recognized for all their accomplishments through their school career here at Sycamore. And we normally play it before the ceremony itself, all this background music. So this is a traditional piece that we do every year because it's fun and it's exciting. And I remember we just play it at this nice, calm tempo just to entertain the audience. And then one day I heard this piece that sounded really familiar on the radio. And I was like, gosh, where have we done that before? And then I realized it's the piece that we play on senior awards night, except it was like 10 times faster. so fast I could barely recognize it. And so this year I was like, they're playing and they sound so good this year. We're like, hey, here's a recording of it. And then they heard it. And it's like, you want to try to play it that fast or at least close? And they're like, yeah. So we're going to play it the tempo it's supposed to be played. So that was a big challenge for us. So here we go. All right, before we play our last piece, just a few recognitions. The first thing, as you all know, these, with the combination of concert orchestra and chamber orchestra, this year we were the IHSA Class A solo and ensemble state champions. So kudos to those guys who participated, yay. And then as a music department, kudos to all the students in the Sycamore High School Music Department. We are the Class A state runner-up. So kudos to all the musicians in the music department. So the one thing I did such a good job of being on top of things, I realized I put all the stuff up and I couldn't bring it out for display. So you guys are all going that way. So next time you're in the school, check out our trophy case, and you see the trophy is already in there. And then the first place solo and ensemble plaque is already on the wall, and you can see this component, the solo and ensemble, is a newer thing for IHSA. It's only been 10 years that we've done it, and so to finish in the top 3, 9 out of the 10 years, and the first year we also got first place. So it's kind of neat to be on top again. So just a warning for next year is that if we get back to in-person, it's a little bit more of a commitment. It's actually easier to do it because everything could be done from home and online and all that. So hopefully next year, we're hoping that you and your children will be encouraged to continue actively participating, which takes a day to go travel to another school and a little more involvement. But we hope that you will support that and continue this the history of our orchestra program. So. The next thing I wanted to announce is that, unfortunately, the one definite casualty is the concerto competition. But I decided that it was important that those students, the outstanding seniors, be recognized who were a part of it. So we did a symbolic concerto competition. This year's winners is Carl Peterson on trombone, Vani Subramoni, who is a soprano, vocalist, and then Erin Templin on her concerto on violin. So Erin, why don't you stand up since you're here? I don't know if Carl and Vani are here, but... Because you need more emails from me, like today, I have their videos that I will share amongst some other things that we have in store for you. So look for that email and 20 others when I forget things. But I will share that all with you guys so you can view it at home. We have some scholarship recipients from the Sycamore Music Boosters. The John Weaver Music Booster Scholarship is for summer camps or some kind of enrichment over the summer. And this year's recipient for the John Weaver Music Booster Scholarship is Mr. Luke Templin. And I hope I'm saying this right. So Kirk, if you're out there, I apologize. The next scholarship is the Deanne and Betty Lundbeck Scholarship in their honor by Mr. Kirk Lundbeck, who's a member of the Kishwaukee Symphony. He's a trombone. We have such a great trombone studio here at Sycamore High School because of all the students that takes lessons from him. So he helped create this scholarship in their honor. And the recipient this year for the scholarship is Emily Bykowski. The final award is the National School Orchestra Award. We just got these awards in today. Ran down to DeKalb to get those. This award is given around the country by many orchestra programs, school orchestra programs. And so the students vote for the recipient of this award. And as the certificate says, in recognition of singular merit and outstanding contributions to the success of the school orchestra, for displaying an unusual degree of loyalty and cooperation, and for exemplifying the high standard of conduct that is the aim of the school instrumental program. And this recipient truly deserves it, Erin Templin. So in their names, all these award recipients we have permanent plaques on display throughout the music department, and their names are engraved in these plaques. So for years and years, they can come back and see their contribution and achievements at Sycamore High School. The last people I wanted to recognize is our senior class. So we have a very, very, very small senior class this year. And we have a senior from the other orchestra, Tyler. But so on stage tonight, the first person I want to recognize is Erin. Erin is graduating this year. So Erin is going to Drake, yes, for sure. And she will be studying pharmacy and music. So thank you, Erin, for all that you have done. And then our last senior who's here tonight is Miss Emily Preble, if you would stand. She is going to Northern Iowa University, and she will be studying psychology and Spanish. So thank you, Emily, for all your contributions. And I did want to shout out, so hopefully she's online tonight, or he's online tonight. Lee Walker is a violist. He is graduating. I'm not sure what his plans are, but in his defense, he just received his second vaccination. So feeling under the weather, but hey, he's vaccinated, so that's a good reason to not be here tonight. So congratulations to Lee. Well done. So kudos out to you. while they're doing their little spiel, Mrs. Tanaki and Mrs. Marbury are here tonight. If you saw in the program that we emailed, we are selling car decals for $8, so they will be out here. We'd love to see Sycamore Orchestra decals all over the community, everywhere we go. So if you're interested, come on down after the concert. So, all right.
Hi guys. I didn't plan anything because I didn't want to cry, so I didn't write anything. So 9 years, yeah. Me and Aaron. Oh no. Fourth grade. I picked up the violin for the first time, and that was it. And Tanaki's been my teacher for 9 years, and 10 days it's done. So we just wanted to give you this. Yeah, just say thank you for everything. It's been a long 9 years, but a great 9 years. And I know Aaron and I have been through a lot, and we've done a lot through this program, and it's opened up a lot of opportunities for all of us. And we could not be more thankful for Mr. Tanaki and everything he does for all of us every day. So thank you.
Well, thank you for you guys, senior class, and thank you for your parents for all your support. You know, it is a really neat honor. You know, most school programs, you're either a high school teacher or an elementary or middle school, and we made this realization that, you know, directly or indirectly, all three of us, we get to be a part of their lives for their lives for half their lives by the time they graduate through the orchestra program. And it's kind of a neat thing, because your children become very special to me, and it's always neat to see I continue to be in contact with so many alums to this day, and you know that their kids are now in the program. I'm that old, and so but it's an honor. I think it's an honor, so thank you. Our last piece, speaking of a special moment, the finale by Tchaikovsky is it's very dear to my heart. If you see in the program, the arrangement is by Arthur Matska, which is Anne Matska's father, who was a great supporter of the program. And every year I think, oh gosh, if Art was around and if these kids could have met Art, it would just be amazing. So when I first came to Sycamore, he gave me this arrangement, hot off the presses. And it has been always a special moment when I have an orchestra that can pull this off, because it's very difficult. It's very similar. Many of you know that the Kishwaukee Symphony played the real, so to speak, the real version. This version isn't much far off from that, so it's very difficult. And for them to remotely and all that, to put this all together in this situation, quite a feat. So kudos to you guys on stage, kudos to you parents, and so thank you for all you've done. So the finale by Tchaikovsky.